Hello everyone, we will receive more news about Miami Dolphins, but before that, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Florida Gators targeting Ben Elsner for front office role. Florida is targeting Ben Elsner of the football analysis website The 33rd Team for its actively forming front office. Florida is targeting Ben Elsner from football analysis website The 33rd Team for a role in its actively forming front office structure, per Matt Zenitz of 247 Sports. Specifics regarding Elsner's potential role at UF were not immediately clear. Elsner, a graduate of the University of Massachusetts Amherst, currently functions as the Chief of Staff for the 33rd Team, a service founded in 2019 by former New York Jets General Manager and Miami Dolphins Executive Vice President of Football Operations Mike Tannenbaum. Elsner assists with day-to-day operations for the media company, which he previously contributed to as a writer and analyst. Florida head coach Billy Napier on Wednesday emphasized the importance of Florida solidifying a team to specialize in navigating the waters of modern college athletics. The anticipated multiple hires will help manage personnel as the NCAA moves toward instituting student-athlete revenue sharing in the fallout of the House versus NCAA settlement, which includes a projected $20.5 million cap in 2025 and is reportedly estimated to grow to around $30 million per year over the next 10 years. Power Conference football programs are forecasted to account for 77.3% of each school's budget, according to Patrick O'Rourke of nil-nca.com. Obviously a very important position. It really will be a department more than a position, Napier noted. You'll see we're going to hire multiple people. I think that one of those hires is pretty close to being done, and then I think the others are right around the corner as well. Very hopeful we'll get that done here shortly. Florida's previous leading front office staff member, Mark Robinson, dealt directly with UF's name, image and likeness partner, Florida Victorious, as one of his lead responsibilities, tasks the incoming employees will also have to pick up. But the NCAA's new athletics roster management model will be the front office's priority upon its construction. Napier believes standardized revenue sharing and the implementation of salary caps will even the roster-building playing field as programs adapt to its structure, in contrast with the Wild West and relative lawlessness teams have traversed while recruiting prospects in the nil era of college sports. We're a year away from having a lot of data both in the rev share space and in the marketing, endorsement space, said Napier. We're getting ready to kind of stabilize the market to some degree because we're going to be using comparisons to reference. I think that's been the struggle here in the last, since we got here, is there's a lot of uncertainty about what is the market? What is real? The evolution of the market. Certainly, this spring semester was the most outrageous market of all time. I think everybody kind of pushed their chips to the middle before RevShare starts on July 1st. We'll see where we're at April 7th. There will be some things there from a settlement standpoint, but we're getting this front office built out to be more strategic about the salary cap, the contracts, RevShare, marketing, endorsement, that pool of money that could come available. And then, how you allocate the money becomes part of the evaluation process. We have been living life that way although there's no rules. What we've tried to do the last 18 months is create our own rules in terms of how we added players to the team. Not only the addition of players, but the retention of players. I think we're kind of getting on the interstate and slotted in that right lane here. Ultimately, I think we're getting close here to hiring a couple of really smart guys. Blockbuster trade pitch sends Dolphins four-time champion in rare NFL deal. It's unusual for only players to be involved in NFL trades. But that's the type of rare move Bleacher Report's NFL scouting department proposed the Miami Dolphins could make to land versatile offensive lineman Joe Thuney. Bleacher Report proposed the Dolphins send veteran offensive tackle Terron Armstead to the Kansas City Chiefs in exchange for Thuney. This is a swap of two highly talented linemen that would be interesting fits on the other team, wrote BR's staff. For the Dolphins, this would be the chance to solidify the interior of their line. Finding a solid interior trio has been a challenge since Mike McDaniel got the job. Thuney is one of the best there is, but the Chiefs also have to pay Trey Smith this offseason. Their bigger issue is at left tackle, where Thuney was forced to play in the postseason. This swap would result in a similar financial burden for both teams. Thuney has been the more consistent, healthier player, but he doesn't play the same premium position. Armstead has struggled with injuries and availability, but he plays a position that's harder to fill. This swap could potentially benefit both offensive lines. Even if the Chiefs lose to the Philadelphia Eagles on February 9, Thuney has already won 4 Super Bowl titles, 2 in Kansas City and 2 with the New England Patriots. Thuney has made the Pro Bowl each of the past 3 seasons. Armstead started 15 contests while battling injuries during 2024. He made the Pro Bowl in 2022 and 2023. Miami has a soft reputation around the league in large part because of their inability to run the ball, especially inside. The Dolphins were 21st in rushing yards and 28th in yards per carry during 2024. Miami's running game also struggled more as the season went. After averaging 133.9 rushing yards per game in the first 8 contests, the Dolphins posted just 80.4 rushing yards per contest over their final 9 games. To improve that rushing attack, pundits are calling on the Dolphins adding upgrades to the interior of their offensive line. Thuney would certainly be that. In addition to the Pro Bowl, Thuney has been an All-Pro player the past 3 seasons. He made first-team All-Pro in both 2023 and 2024. According to the Pro Football Focus player grades, Thuney is better in pass protection than run blocking. But he's always earned a good run blocking grade at PFF too. Among guards who played at least 80% of his team's offensive snaps in 2024, PFF ranked Thuney the 4th best guard overall in the league. Although injuries plagued his 2024 campaign, Armstead is a strong player in his own right. And maybe the Chiefs could trade Thuney for Armstead, then rework Armstead's deal to then re-sign fellow guard Trey Smith. That could be a realistic plan in part because Smith is only 25, while Thuney will enter next season at 32 years old. But as Bleacher Report explained, Thuney is one of the best guards in the league. It's hard to envision the Chiefs parting with all his Super Bowl experience, with 1 more year still on his deal. Thuney also proved this season that he could be an answer at left tackle for Kansas City. He's continued to perform at a high level despite playing out of position during the team's playoff run. Thuney's All-Pro level play would be extremely useful in Miami. But his newfound versatility and Super Bowl experience could make him irreplaceable to the point where the Chiefs are unwilling to trade him. New name, new position emerge for Dolphins in mock draft. The Miami Dolphins were projected to go with a new University of Georgia defender in the latest mock draft from NFL.com draft analyst Lance Zierlein. Offensive linemen have been the most popular choice for the Miami Dolphins in the early mock drafts of 2025, with a safety or defensive lineman thrown in for good measure, but we've now got a new position that's been projected. It comes from NFL.com draft analyst Lance Zierlein's first mock of the year, and he projects the Dolphins to selected linebacker Jalon Walker from Georgia with the 13th overall selection. If Zierlein is proven right, this would mark the 2nd consecutive year the Dolphins would select a linebacker in the first round, following Chop Robinson with the 21st overall pick in 2024. But Walker has a bit different of a skill set than Robinson as more of an all-around linebacker as opposed to more of a pass rusher. Walker can play off-ball linebacker on run downs and then blitz or come off the edge as a rusher in passing situations, Zierlein wrote. His toughness and versatility would fill big needs in Miami. The Dolphins have 3 linebackers from the 2024 team scheduled to become unrestricted free agents March 12, Tyrell Dodson, Anthony Walker Jr. and Duke Riley, so they definitely could be in a position to have a clear need at the position. In his NFL.com draft profile, Walker's NFL comparison is former University of Georgia pass rusher Nolan Smith, a first-round pick of the Eagles in 2023 who had a very quiet rookie season but has 4 sacks in 3 playoff games this year. Some see Walker as a tweener while others view him as a hybrid, Jalon wrote in Walker's draft profile. Either way, Walker can go. His career snap count is split between edge and linebacker, and his leadership is famous in the Georgia building. He's still working to fine-tune his instincts and efficiency as an off-ball linebacker, but has the take-on and closing burst to become a productive pro at that spot. He's tough but small as an early down edge rusher, but his athletic talent and suddenness to attack both edges makes him a menace for tackles. The most valuable usage for Walker is likely to come as an early down linebacker who can rush off the edge or match up across the line as a blitzer on passing downs. Other mocks have projected the Dolphins taking Texas offensive lineman Kelvin Banks Jr., Alabama O-lineman Tyler Booker and Georgia safety Malaki Starks in the first round, with a 2-round mock by ESPN's Matt Miller had the Dolphins taking defensive lineman T.J. Sanders of South Carolina in the second round. The Dolphins finished as one of 4 teams with an 8-9 record in the regular season, but their league lowest .417 opponent combined winning percentage put them at the top of those 4 teams and 13th overall in the first round. The Dolphins finished with the same record as the Indianapolis Colts, Arizona Cardinals, and Atlanta Falcons and will rotate between 13th and 16th in every round, with the teams moving in a forward direction. That means the Dolphins will go from 13th in the first round to 16th in the second, because they can't go higher than 13th and have to return to the back of that line, to 15th in the third, and so forth. The Dolphins currently are slated to have 7 picks in the 2025 draft, plus the expected 3 compensatory picks that should include a 3rd-round selection for the loss of Robert Hunt and possibly a 4th for the loss of Wilkins. The compensatory picks likely will be announced in March. And are you a fan? What do you think of Jalon Walker's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.